The Youth Protection Act. What are you allowed to do as a young person in Germany in 2021 and what are you not allowed to do? A comprehensible summary of the law for the protection of minors, JuSG, for foreign youths. The Youth Protection Act exists to protect young people from certain dangers in public. Sure. Energy drinks from 14, alcohol from 16, and cigarettes from 18, most people know that. But for retailers and especially for young people, there are a number of other restrictions when it comes to the protection of minors. Who is the target group of the Youth Protection Act? It is aimed at children and young people under the age of 18. Who is a child and who is a youth in Germany? This is very simple. A child is any person up to the age of 13. From the age of 14 you are a youth. Youth stops at the age of 18 and is an adult. Visiting restrictions. Visit the cinema. 1 to 5 years. Only in company of parents. 6 to 13 years. Without parents cinema performances with the end until 20 o'clock. With parents also longer. 14 to 15 years. Without parents cinema performances with the end until 22 o'clock. With parents longer. 16 to 17 years. Without parents cinema performances with the end until 24 o'clock. With parents longer. Visiting restaurants. These include restaurants, fast food outlets, pubs, bars, snack bars, cafes, ice cream parlors, beer gardens as well as hotels and guest houses. Generally speaking, children and young people under 16 years not without parents or legal guardians are allowed to be in restaurants. 16 to 17-year-olds are allowed to stay in restaurants from 5 a.m. to midnight. Between 24 and 5 o'clock the presence of the parents is also required here. Exception. The stay is only for drinking, approximately 30 minutes, or eating, approximately 60 minutes. The minors are on a journey and bridge the waiting time for the next means of transport. Events of youth welfare organizations. Visit to the disco. Children and teenagers under 16 years of age is the visit of the disco forbidden. 16 to 17-year-olds is allowed to use the discotheque until midnight to visit. For teenagers from 14 to 17 years valid no restriction when accompanied by parents, guardian. Arcades and gambling. Here the rules are clear and simple. Children and adolescents are not allowed to participate in any form of gambling. These are amusement arcades and casinos, lottery, scratch cards, poker, sports betting and slot machines in pubs. Exception. Goods profit on fairs and public festivals. Here the profit may not be however over €25. Visit brothels and nightclubs. It's even easier here. The visit of minors, anyone under the age of 18, to nightclubs, brothels, nudist bars, swingers clubs, drug havens, places of street prostitution and the like is prohibited. Absolutely prohibited. Alcohol. Here the legislator distinguishes between consumption and sale. Consumption of alcoholic beverages. In principle, the rules here are also kept very simple. From 14 to 15 years is allowed to enjoy beer, wine, sparkling wine and similar low-proof drinks in public with parents. 16 to 17-year-olds may consume beer, wine, sparkling wine and similar beverages in public. Important, even if they are low-percentage drinks, they must not contain any high-percentage spirits. So-called alcopops, which are also specially labeled, are therefore only available and to be consumed from the age of 18. Purchase of alcoholic beverages. This is where it gets tight. Teenagers aged 16 to 17 years is only the purchase of beer, wine or champagne allowed. Smoking of cigarettes, tobacco, shisha and e-cigarettes among the German public. All these stimulants are forbidden to children and adolescents under the age of 18 in the German public. Strictly forbidden, even in the presence of parents. Of course there is also a small exception and that concerns the private area. So apartment, garden, balcony, etc. Here the parents are responsible. Theoretically, here the parents can allow a 14-year-old teenager to smoke. On the restrictions in media, games and internet I do not go here, because it has too little relevance for a tourist visit to Germany. Just as little will be of interest to you the rules and regulations for the merchants and restaurateurs as tourists.